All right, planning for learning assessment task 5, project 4, Science Learning Centre. So this one is really a follow on from your Maths Learning Centre. So you're going to see some similar templates with this one as well. So under the assessment description, it describes to you that this assessment is really about a science learning centre, again for either toddlers or preschoolers. So you have a choice of which age group you want to go with. My advice would be go with the opposite age group that you did the Maths Learning Centre, just to challenge yourself so that you're preparing for different age groups and not just focusing on one. So this particular assessment obviously focuses on the idea of science and teaching and learning of science in the classroom. We've given you the concept that we want you to follow on for, and that concept is things that fly. So things that fly, it does mention here that it could be exploring things such as bugs, birds, bats, and their habitats. However, it's also okay to go with things such as man-made things that fly. And I find that a lot of students need to actually do a lot of research to find out actually how it is possible that bugs, birds, or aeroplanes are able to fly as well. So it's a good learning curve for you. So to start this assessment, you need to pick your age group and you need to think about how you're going to specify your things that fly concept. Then you have to start completing the template that goes along with that. So this template has a range of questions. These are the same questions you would have seen in the Maths Learning Experience. And again, if you go to all sessions, you'll be able to find the Science Learning Centre planning template. Again, I've got the 2 tabs. So it's this one here, Science Learning Centre planning. I have got it up myself here. So once you've made that decision about the age group, once you've made the decision to be more specific about your actual concept, which is things that fly and where you're going to go with that, you want to pop your concept in here. So you can put things that fly as your concept, but I want you also to detail, well, where are you going with that? Are you particularly looking at birds? Are you particularly looking at natural things that fly, man-made things that fly, whatever it might be that you're looking at? Then your age group that you've chosen, and again, you need to go through this template thoroughly. So if you're not sure how to fill out this template, if you go back to the Math Learning Experience, I go into detail about what you need to supply in each of these sections. So then you move on to the next part of your assessment. So now you've organised your concept, you've developed a learning centre around things that fly, and you're focusing on the science aspect of that. Then you've got to move on to the next task. So this task then asks that now you are going to develop a series of 4 related experiences. And it's really important that you have a good rationale for why you've chosen those. After you've done those experiences, you're then going to do a web plan of questions. And those questions are going to be where you explore what type of questions or wording you would use with the children to find out what existing knowledge they had prior to doing these 4 experiences. So it's requiring of you the planning for teaching and the science web plan, which again, under all sessions, under planning for learning student resources, you can find that. So the science plan for teaching and science web plan. So to go through that again, you would have completed the Science Learning Centre. Then you're moving on to the Science Learning Centre plan for teaching and learning. So from your learning centre, you're then coming up with 4 additional experiences. You're going to put the name of the experience in these sections. Then in this section, you're going to describe the experience so that your assessor has a good understanding of what the experience is, and your role, so your teacher strategies. What are you going to be doing during that experience? Your rationale. This is where you need to talk about, why is this an appropriate experience? How does this link with your original concept? How does this link with your maths learning? How is it extending? So you want to have a really good explanation of that. You have to do that for all 4 experiences. Then, keeping those 4 experiences in mind, you're going to do the things that fly web plan. So I might even, if I was you, I'm not great at working these type of templates, but you might have experience 1. You may get your trainer to print it out for you if you want to write on it. But then in each of these sections, for experience 1 to 4, so the experiences that you have put in here, you are going to explore the questions or vocabulary you would use to figure out what the children's existing knowledge is. So if we go back to that template, you're going to be for each experience listing a bunch of questions that you might have planned to use during that experience to get to know what knowledge the children have or what existing knowledge that they have in that section. So you'll have experience 1, 2, experience 3 and 4. So once you've completed that, you'll have your learning centre organised, you'll have your 4 experiences detailed, and then you'll have your web plan, which will have all of the questions that you're looking to ask during those 4 experiences. So when you upload, you're going to be uploading again 3 documents and send that through with the submit button, send that through to your assessor.